Good evening and welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday for Tuesday, March 15th, 2016. The Ides of March, but we promise it will end much better for you than it did for Caesar. And if you don't know that reference, ask an English teacher. I want to say we're glad that you're here with us. Hopefully you are getting caught up with your sleep from the change in time, and if you're not on Plexus and taking your Plexus Slim, talk to the ambassador who invited you to watch this, because it will really help, even if it does become a too slim day. So anyway, I want to go ahead and get started with our presentation. I'm going to share our screen as soon as I find my little button here. There we go. So we can go ahead and get started. Find my little PowerPoint there. All right, we've got Testimonial Tuesday there. So I'm going to go ahead and read our disclosure, and then I'm going to turn it over to my friend Christa. So this presentation is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. And the independent Plexus ambassadors and Plexus Worldwide do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease and take no responsibility for personal actions taken by any viewer. Plexus makes no guarantees or projections of income, as such representations may be misleading. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skill, and leadership abilities and how effectively you exercise those qualities. All inspirational testimonies and tips should not be considered medical or financial advice and are not representative of Plexus Worldwide. They are tips, inspiration, and motivation based solely on the personal results or opinions of participants. So now that we've gotten that done, as you're listening to my friend Christa, I want you to think about who do you know who may be looking for an opportunity such as Plexus. And tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're focusing a little bit more along more the business side and some of the things that Christa's learned along her journey, both with Plexus and some other ventures that she's been involved in. But we're going to focus a little bit more on the business side today versus the health side. So be thinking about people who you may know that would maybe like an extra income or want to have a way to work from home. So it is time for Tell Me About It Tuesday. So let me stop the sharing there and unmute Christa. Where did she go? There she is. Hi, Christa.
Hi.
Hi. Christa is on my team, and Christa is a gold ambassador on my team, my first gold. And so we connected. I'll let her tell the whole story for you. But she and I have become super good friends despite being, in fact, we were really good friends before we ever met at convention in person. So that's one of the best perks of Plexus is all the girlfriends, and I won't say girlfriends and boyfriends, all the friends you make with Plexus. So honey, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over. I'm going to mute it and you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thanks for asking me to speak tonight. I'm kind of excited to share. And I love sharing what Plexus has done with my health. But when you asked me to talk about these other topics, I got even more excited because it is awesome. Okay. So Vicki and I'll just back up and let y'all know, we met on Facebook. And so hooray for Facebook. And we were in an exercise group together, and Vicki was so kind to reach out and help me with some things that I had going on that I really needed somebody to just take my hand and say, do this. And so she did. And then because we had this great relationship and I trusted her, she shared Plexus with me, and the rest is history. But I have to tell you that I'm not new to network marketing. This is not a new thing for me. My husband and I added up how many businesses we were in. The first business I was in my 20s, and I'm no longer in that decade or the decade after that. But I was looking for a way to make money from home, and I wanted to be able to, we were expecting our first child. Well, no, we were expecting to be expecting our first child. We weren't even there yet. And I wanted to start a business and be able to be home. And so I started in network marketing, and I did get pregnant with our first child, and I did quit my job and stay home. And that was the beginning of several businesses for my husband and I. That one I stayed in for several years, and but then we found some others that we tried, and we just weren't finding great long-term success in these businesses. And I don't know if I'm brave enough to tell you, but between mine and ours together, we had about 10 or 12 different attempts at running businesses. So we kind of lost count, but somewhere in there. So the idea of network marketing is not new to our family. But when Vicki introduced Plexus, I was like, well, I can sign up and just get wholesale. And I knew a little something about natural health, and I have a background in that. So I was like, this looks like a great product. I can get it at wholesale, kind of like Sam's Club or Costco. You know, my husband said, well, do we have to have inventory? I said, no. That made him happy. We've been down that route before. And he said, do we have to have monthly minimums? Is there like, are we going to go in debt, basically? He's like, all men want to know if we are going down a hole. And he said, just, that's what the husbands want to know. And I think he's right. That's generally what they want to know. What's this going to cost us? And I told him, no, there's not monthly minimums that I have to meet. I'm just buying for wholesale. I'm just getting this product for us. Okay, so on August 28th, I went ahead and signed up. This was 2014, and I remember that day forever. And that night, I didn't know anything about who was who in this business. I just knew Vicki, I knew Charlotte, that's it. And I think it was a God thing that I clicked on a diamond documentary by Sonia Dudley, and that changed everything. I watched that video. I totally identified with her. And I told my husband, you might want to watch this video. And I could see the look on his face. Oh, no, she's got a business. Yes, I do. Okay, I just want to buy business cards. So the next day, I think it was like a day or two later, I went on, I found business cards, and I was in business. And for me, I thought, if I just earned enough to pay for my products, I'm happy. I don't need to have a big business. I don't need to do, just if I could just pay for my products, that would be the first time any of my supplements would be paid for. And so that was enough for me at first. And well, we met that goal pretty easy. And I was like, wow, this is a great business, like really great business. My husband was also watching all these diamond documentaries over my shoulder at night when I was watching them, or he was listening in the background. And he agreed, this is really a great business. This is really different than anything we've ever done. So what I've learned, and kind of the theme of what I'm thinking tonight and what I want to share tonight, is that if God has put a dream in your heart, if he's put a vision in your heart to do something, and I mean, we have always had an entrepreneurial spirit, my husband and I both, there's a reason it's there, and go for it. I mean, don't let anything step in the way. Don't let fear, because fear could have held us back. We could have been like, oh no, another multi-level business. No, we're not going to do it. And I'm really glad that we didn't pull back. So anyway, I was on my way. I had my business cards, and I had my notes because I could go on. And I asked Vicki, how long can I talk? So I have my notes. So we get through the first month and everything's great. And the second month comes along, and I went silver in October. And that was really easy. It was like, wow, this is great. And silver in Plexus just means you've found 3 friends that want to hop on board and do this thing with you and, get their products at wholesale. Well, that was great. And we're still super tight. I called them my musketeers, and they're still my musketeers. So that was awesome. Vicki mentioned the friendships, and that really solidified the friendships that we already kind of had going. It was like, it just took our friendship to this whole new level. It was great. So that was October. Well, by February 28th, I reached gold. And so signed up August 28th, February 28th, I was gold. And that was like a whole new, like, wow, this business is really amazing. This is great. So basically, where we're at right now is we've just moved, and I see some of my team members have popped on, so they're going to know this part of the story, but we have just moved into a new home. And the reason I'm making this part of my story for you all tonight is that we have prayed for over 10 years, but diligently for the last 10 years, for a home like what we're living in. We wanted to have more room for our kids. We wanted to be kind of out in the country and all of this. And God gave us this answer to our prayers, but it took 10 years of fervent prayer and looking at lots and lots of homes and having doors closed right and left and going, Lord, I don't understand why you're closing these doors, but there's this dream in my heart. There's this vision, what I want. And I think you put it there. I don't think it's me. I think it's from you. And so we diligently kept looking at homes and praying more and getting told no and saying, I don't understand, but continuing to go after the goal. The timing was perfect. Even though I thought my timing should have been sooner, the timing was really perfect. This is a perfect time for this move. It was a perfect time for our kids. Everything was exactly the way it was supposed to be. I needed to learn to be patient. I needed to learn to keep the dream that he put in my heart, but be willing to let the date be his decision when it happened. So, and there's a reason for that too. So after 10 years of prayer, we finally moved into this home. And a part of that is because the income I have coming in with Plexus freed things up enough that my husband felt confident in making this move. He would not have felt confident in that previously. And so this gave him just that little bit of security that, okay, we can do something more here. So that was awesome. So like I said, timing was everything. Then it came, we needed to sell our old home. And we really thought we had a buyer the first month. We were sure she was in. She had a contract ready to go. And a month later, she backed out. And we were like, I don't understand. How can it's a great house. Why would you back out? But again, it's God's timing. Now, 6 months later, we just closed on the sale of that home last week. And yes, exactly. Yay. And I can see we had prayed from day one that God would bring the right buyer for that home. And we found this wonderful couple who, they found us, who is so much reminding my husband and I of us 20 years ago when we bought the home. And so I'm so excited for them, and they're so excited to have it. But it had to be in God's timing. They wouldn't have been ready 6 months ago. They were ready now. So I thought I had a better plan, but God had the right plan at the end of the day. So he's always right. I'm not. So here's what I've learned and what I'm still learning. And I'm hoping that I get this lesson so I don't have to keep learning it over and over. But the lesson for me is that God put a dream in our hearts, not just for this home and not just for selling the old home, but in this business, being entrepreneurs, being able to have the freedom to do different things that we couldn't do in just normal going and clocking in at a job. And he has his timing, he has his plan. And while I may have to change my date, now see, I was going to go senior gold much sooner. I have plans that I'm going to be much further along, but his plans are different than mine. And I am learning that that's okay. I can push the date out, but keep the goal. So another lesson I'm learning is not to compare. There are so many journeys, and every one of them is different. And there are people who come into this business and other businesses like this, and they shoot straight to the top. And then there are other people who have a little longer journey to get to the top. And that's okay. And what I'm learning is that we love the journey that we're in. It's good. And there, I have nothing to complain about. If I'm gold the rest of my life, although I know I'm a diamond in qualification, but if I'm gold the rest of my life, that's awesome. I have a successful business with people who are feeling wonderful, that are gaining freedom, that it's wonderful. So I have nothing to complain about, but I have a dream in my heart. So I'm being patient. And another lesson is don't be discouraged and don't compare. And you're looking at other journeys and maybe you want yours to be more like somebody's. And I tease a lot that I want to be Sonia Dudley when I grow up. So I'd love my journey to look like Sonia Dudley's, but I know that she has gone through other things before she ever entered Plexus. So I'm learning the things that she's learned along her path in my time. And so don't be discouraged. Don't compare your journey to everybody else's. Hang in there. If you have to move the date, great, but don't give up your dream. I'm learning that God is faithful to complete what he started. If he's put something in your heart, if he's given you a vision, go for it. Do not let any fear hold you back. Do not let any negative Nellies around you. Don't let any haters, whatever. Don't let anybody hold you back, and certainly don't hold yourself back, because he's going to be faithful to complete it if you will just be faithful to keep being consistent and doing what needs to be done. I am learning to be steadfast, to be confident, and to be resolute. I am not backing down. Whether I hit my goals or don't hit my goals, I'm not backing down, because I know that in Plexus, I love our diamond upline. Brenda said, the sky's the limit, but it's not going to fall in your lap. So I know that the sky is the limit in Plexus. I've seen it, and I've experienced things in this business that I've never experienced in any other. And so it is awesome. I've also learned to be grateful. Be grateful for your journey, where you're at. Be grateful for where you're going. Be grateful for the people that are in your circle, the people in your team, the people coming to you for as customers. Just wake up with a grateful heart every day. I'm also learning that there is a difference between being content and complacent. So while I'm content being gold, I am not going to be complacent, because that's not where I want to be forever. And so you can be very content and very happy being a brand new ambassador, a senior ambassador, a silver ambassador. You can be very content with the place that you're in right now, but don't be complacent. Always try to see if there's a way you can grow and build. Yeah, and I wrote in big letters, no fears. So I'm learning that a lot of, all of the fears that I have confronted over this last year and a half are, they're without root. They don't have, they're not real. And so whatever things come up that hold me back, I am learning that they are not serving me. They need to go away. And I need to just continue to press on and go forward. And so, like I said, I'm content and I'm grateful for everything that I have gained in Plexus. And I have gained a lot. I have gained awesome friends. I have gained awesome customers. I have been able to help people on so many different levels, and I love to help people. But I'm not going to be complacent and just stay there. I want to continue to stretch and grow and do better and help more people. So in a nutshell, those are the things that I've learned and I'm still learning, and I have not mastered them yet, but those are the things that I'm working on. And I'm just so grateful to Miss Vicki for sharing, because good heavens, if you hadn't, I guarantee that we wouldn't be doing the things that we're doing right now and experiencing the things that we are. So I'm so thankful. I think that's it.
Okay, you're going to make me cry. I got tears in my eyes. I never understood whenever I would see some of the Plexus videos and they would talk about, they'd start to get tears in their eyes. I'm like, oh, why are you crying? And I'm like, yeah, now I get it. So, yep. That is such wise words. I just can't, it makes me so proud to see how far you've come with all of this. And I love that you're in a place where things can settle down now, because you have had a very stressful year in everything that you've dealt with, and I love that things are starting to settle down now to where you can focus on reaching that goal that you have now, and not just being, as you said, content with where you are, happy where you are, but yet not complacent about it. So that is so cool. That is so cool. All right, well, before I continue on with the rest of this, I'm going to do it a little differently and see if anybody has, as I wipe away the tears, if anybody has any questions that they want to ask Christa before I go through and finish the rest of the presentation. Christa, you did a good job. Yeah. That was just, I just got to say, I'm watching you and I am totally captivated in watching your eyes and seeing the life that's there and the excitement that's there, and just had me mesmerized. So I'm beyond thrilled for you. All right. So I'm going to mute Christa and then go ahead and continue on with our presentation. So I'll go through and share my screen again. All right, so I have Tell Me About It Tuesday on there again. All right, good. I always like to check that. Okay, well, I do, Plexus wouldn't be there if it wasn't for our life-changing products. And these products they've changed my life, they've changed Christa's life, many, many, many people that we've come in contact with, and the many people that we've met through Plexus. Because one thing that I do love about Plexus is we are products of the product. And the reason why we share is because we believe in these products and what they've done for us. And if you want to check out any of those, talk with the ambassador who invited you to watch this recording. But I don't want to go into a lot of details about the products and stuff. That wasn't our focus tonight. But needless to say, they are life-changing products, and they have made so much of a difference in so many people's lives. So I don't know if you're watching this and you're not involved in Plexus. I hope you're just ready to say, you know, yeah, me. I want to go ahead and get started with Plexus because it is truly it's been an amazing journey for all of us. So by getting started with Plexus, I'm just going to cover these very briefly. There are 3 ways that you can get started: retail, preferred, and wholesale. Retail is the most expensive. Preferred is the best if you want to remain a customer because you have your 60-day money-back guarantee, and it's about 10% below retail. And then you get an additional 10% off after your starting with your 4th month of ordering. And then it's also, there's no minimum. If you just want to buy just one product, that's cool. It's not any minimum that you have to do, and that was one thing that was important to Christa. And wholesale, though, if you know that you're going to be buying this for your family, or you know that this is something that you want to be able to share with others, go ahead and go for the wholesale because it's super easy to get started with. You have the option of getting a welcome pack, which is your products at below wholesale pricing your first month. Again, there's no minimum to order unless you want to earn commission. And then it's only 100 PV or 100 point value, which roughly equates out to about $100 going through your website, which can be your products or your customers' products. So really easy to meet that. I think Christa would say that that's from the very beginning, she's, other than paying for her welcome pack, she hasn't had to pay for her products. Her commissions have paid for those. It's the deepest discount, and to get started is $34.95. So like she mentioned about a Sam's Club or a Costco membership, that's essentially what it is. You're buying your membership that gives you a website, and that gives you the opportunity to buy it wholesale, and it gives you the opportunity to be able to sell, but you're not required to sell. We have lots of people on our team who are happy to be wholesale ambassadors and maybe, you know, share it with a friend or two, but that's just, they want the best price, and that's the way to do it. But we also have people who are like Christa and I, who have dreams of making this beyond where we are right now. And then you get 11 different ways to get compensated. And again, talk with the ambassador who invited you to watch this. I mentioned the welcome packs. Again, these are our combinations of products. They're our most popular combinations. The products that we like them, well, I'm not going to go into all of that because really they're out of our 15 products, and that's really all there are. There's really, I can't say there's one that I don't like. But there are just wonderful products, and your ambassador can help you pick the ones that are right for you. And as Christa had mentioned before, no inventory. That was really important to her and her husband, and he's a sweetheart too. I got to meet him, and he's a wonderful person. And because you don't have to have a place to put all the storage. Plexus does it for you. Part of that $34.95 is they handle the shipping. They handle the tracking of your customer's order. They handle all of the credit card stuff, so you don't have to have one of those little credit card processing things yourself and pay a percentage to the bank. They handle all of that for you. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go do parties. And I know that's part of one of the businesses that Christa was in, involved a lot of time away from her kids, which kind of defeated the purpose of being at home with her kids. So you don't have to do that. You get paid in cash, not in products. You don't have to turn around and take a product and then sell it in order to make the money. And it is absolutely the best compensation plan in network marketing. It's the way that network marketing can be done and should be done, but rarely is. Just mention just a little bit about some of the perks of Plexus. And again, these are no guarantees, nothing that says you're absolutely going to get there. It takes work. We are not going to sugarcoat it and say that, as our upline Brenda says, that the sky's the limit, but it's not going to be like Chicken Little and it's not going to fall in your lap. It's going to take some work. But it's fun. It's fun work. If you like helping people, you will do amazing. And you'll love what you're doing with Plexus. So as you rank up, you get bonuses. You reach the Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond level. You could participate in the Plexus Lexus car program. And then when you reach that level, you also get a trip to, it used to be Maui. It's now Kona, Hawaii, because we outgrew Maui. I mean, we outgrew a whole island. So we're moving to the biggest island on Hawaii, and that is this year, and we're excited about being able to go there. This is the annual ambassador income statement, and this has been, I learned this a few weeks ago. This was created by Ernst & Young, so it's an independent third-party audit of Plexus in order to determine the annual ambassador income, and this is an average. This is not saying this is what you will make, but as you can look at the different ranks, you can see on average what people are making, and who couldn't use an extra couple of $100 a month? Who couldn't use to maybe pay a car payment, to maybe help with the rent, who, you know, to maybe just be able to put some in savings so you can go on a vacation this year versus a staycation, and just to make things a little less stressful for you and your family. But as you see, once you start getting into the Ruby, Senior Ruby, Emerald Ambassadors, on up into what we call the Jewel levels, then you start making some serious life-changing income. And these are where people, our upline, all of our uplines, every one of our uplines straight on up is at least Emerald or above. So our direct sponsors are at least Emerald or above. You think they know what they're doing? Yeah, they do. And I would say, let's see, of those, well, that's more than that, but at least 4 to 5 of those are diamonds. So they've already reached that pinnacle point of Plexus. 82% of the women in the United States who make $100,000 a year or more do it through direct sales. And that means those are people who are able to work from home and do like Christa does and homeschool, or to be able to work from home like I do. And today I'm very involved in my community, in our leadership program. I was able to go and spend the day with our leadership classes that was on this particular day, to be able to go with them. Today was education day, so we got to, I used to be a teacher, so that part was a lot of fun to get to see some of the people I used to work with, and to be able to have the flexibility to do that. And I still had gained an ambassador today. So just by doing that, I had that flexibility to do that. If you have, we've got a friend on our team whose parents are very ill, and she has the flexibility to be able to still work her business, but be able to be there to take care of her parents. I've got a grandbaby coming in a few weeks. I'm going to have that flexibility. So it's more than just being able to say, hey, I've got a fancy car, or I've got a, great vacation. Those are wonderful, but it's the freedom that it provides your family and yourself to be able to be there for the people who you care about the most. But we do not want to leave out the men, because real men do drink pink, and the men of Plexus, this is from Leaders Retreat, and this is just a handful of the men who were there. And these men come from all walks of life. They are in the military, police officers, doctors, coaches, all kinds of lawyers, all kinds of various different walks of life, and they've decided that they want to make a difference so that they can be with their kids, they can watch their kids growing up versus spending their time with working a job and not being able to see their families, or to be able to, we've got a new ambassador on our team who has a mission in mind, and he's been a missionary before, and he wants to be able to go out and make a difference and to support those mission works and not be tied to a job that keeps him from doing what his heart wants to do. And that's the type of thing. You've got that dream. As Christa said, that dream has been placed in your heart for a reason. It's not just so that you see it way up there in the stars somewhere. It's so that you know, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I have full belief in anybody, if you believe that, you can do whatever you want to do. So, as I just said, believe that it's possible. Will it fall in your lap? No, it won't. It will take some work. It will take working through some fears. You'll dig deep, and you'll find some of these things. And like Christa said, we found out these fears were totally unfounded. But like Franklin Roosevelt during World War II said, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And that's, that's false evidence appearing real. It's not. So you can choose to have fear. You can choose to have faith. Both of those are believing in something that hasn't happened yet. I think we'll choose faith. In fact, I know we'll choose faith. It's much better. Harvey McKay, great motivational speaker. A successful person is usually an average person who took a chance. That's all we did with this. We took a chance. We didn't go into this saying, hey, yeah, I'm going to go to Diamond. We know we're going to get there, but that was not where we started. We just said, okay, we'll try. So that's all we're asking you to do, is just to try. And know that whenever you're involved with Plexus, regardless of what team you're on, but especially on our team, I know I can speak truthfully about this, you have tremendous training, you have tremendous support, you have tremendous belief, and people who will help you get where you want to do, where you want to be. But that's the one Plexus way. That's in everything with Plexus. We have people on in our local area that are not part of our downline or upline, and we still work together. It was wonderful. I got a chance to see one today, and it was just so good. We greeted each other. I hadn't seen her in a while, and we greeted each other like we were old friends, because we are. And it doesn't matter that she has her own business. We're in the same town, but we all have different networks. Even in the same town, you're going to have different networks. So don't think that an area is saturated, because it's not. There's tremendous potential anywhere that you are. So say yes that you want to change your life. I usually just say, think about it. No, just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. $34.95. Come on. You're not really risking anything, and you'll end up within a couple of months of ordering the products, you'll end up making that back in savings. So it's just in the savings of buying your own products. Again, no income guarantees, because that has a lot to do with what you decide to do with it. So I will stop sharing this here, see if anybody has any questions before we end for the evening. We got about 5 minutes. Any questions? All right. Hey, Christa, we did good. So let me unmute Christa here. There she is. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry, what?
Pauline have a question? She raised her hand.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second, Pauline. Let me unmute you there. There you are, darling. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Still in the classroom. But it's actually more of a comment than a question, in that, Christa, I really felt like I was taking notes. I felt compelled to take notes when you were speaking, and I felt like I was taking notes from a diamond, which you are a diamond in qualification. So just thank you for sharing. Just very motivating and informational. Thanks a million.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pauline. And yes, she's definitely a diamond in qualification. All right, Virgil had a question here. How do you build belief in yourself? So, Christa, I'm going to let you, since you're our guest this evening, I'll let you talk about that.
Okay, and I'm watching the countdown, so I'll try to keep it short. Really, it is, for me, I am constantly working on this, so I can't say, oh, I've arrived, here's how you do it. But I would say, first of all, for me is prayer. I have to be on my knees and praying and humble and ready to receive, because, that's just got to be where it all starts. Second, I have had to remind myself that if I am telling myself negative things about me, if I'm not willing to believe in the abilities God gave me, that to me is almost like a slap in the face to the creator of the universe. So that's just my beliefs. And then books, videos. I have videos and audios playing every single day. My kids have heard more personal development and Plexus videos than I don't think there's any other 12 and 15-year-old out there that maybe has heard that much. So I think that's awesome. I'm glad that they get a head start. They don't have to wait till they're 40s like me. Books galore. I have become a huge reader. I have always loved books, and that's part of the joy of being a homeschool mom. It's an excuse to collect books. But books, you're nodding, Miss Teacher over there. but books on personal development are critical, and it's not going to all change on the first book or the second book or the third book, but it's a process of daily pouring into myself these new ideas and new beliefs. And so, you know, what to say when you talk to yourself, those kind of books that help to change your mindset, because we are always talking to ourselves and it's usually negative. And we're okay with that. For whatever reason, we allow that, and we shouldn't. And so we need to change that constant talk that's going on in our head and make it positive. We need to renew our thoughts. We need to take our thoughts captive. This is all biblical. It is not, it's a spiritual thing. It's biblical and it's good. But we need to be trained how to do it, because we have learned how to accept the negative side. We have not learned how to accept the positive. And it is a battle, and it will be fought. And it is fought on my knees a lot, because it is some work to change that. But yeah, books, videos, audios, constantly going in every single day without fail. That's what does it for me.
Oh, that's such an awesome answer. Can you recommend, you mentioned what to say when you talk to yourself, share a couple of others that have been important to you?
You know, there's one called Me, Myself, and Lies, and that one kind of started my thinking process. The what to say to yourself continued it. And let's see, Switch on Your Brain. I just finished reading this week, and I love that one. It's a little sciencey, but brain science is kind of cool to me. I like it. So I was willing to wade through the big words that I didn't know all of. She's a brain scientist, so you know. But it gave me the understanding of the physical things that go on, that our brains change with the thoughts we have, whether they're positive or negative toxic thoughts. It actually changes your DNA, and it changes the makeup of your brain. So that was a cool book to read. So those are just a few, but oh my goodness, I have a shelf full of, and I'm getting more. So Self-Talk, Soul Talk is on its way to me. That should be here tomorrow. And that's by the same gal that did Me, Myself, and Lies. So anyway, there's a ton of them. There's a lot of books.
There are. And again, talk to your ambassador, who they can suggest several of them. And we're down to 1 minute. Less than 1 minute. We know this will cut it off. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, Christa. Oh, awesome job. I'm so inspired. And this is going to help so many people. Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.